Now it's time to implement choosing our initial path. Do you go to the left or do you go to the right? But before we do that, I wanted to show you the process of how you can actually import a skill that was previously being worked on. So here from the menu, I'm just going to close this project. And let's go ahead and select Open a Project. And this is our project folder. Just to give you an idea, as we have been creating our skill, you will see that a folder structure is being built out for us. So there's a config.json file, there is some code that is behind the scenes, and here are all the node modules that have been imported for us behind the scenes. And if we go to content, here is our .abc file and so on, and here's our locales and so on. So this actually is the project, and if you simply point to the beginning folder of your project and you click on open, that loads up the skill for you. So in this way, you can continue to work on the skill. You can hand it off between different designers and writers and developers, and we can actually version control this skill as it's being rapidly prototyped. And as you can see, it's been very quick that we're able to build out a narrative skill using this approach. So now let's get into implementing the left and right path. So for go left, we want Alexa first to say something to the user. And again, the dialog has been provided as a text file resource. So let's go ahead and copy the dialog for go left. Here we go. Here is go left. I will copy that. We'll jump back over to the editor and we can paste that in here. So essentially, what is happening here is that you encounter a hyena, and that hyena is chasing you when you go to the left. And now, what do? So after Alexa speaks that phrase to you or that narrative, we're going to do then. And we're going to set a couple of variables here so that we could refer to them later on. So the first one is set attacker as hyena. Next, we can do set attacker health as 5 and set attacker damage as 3. So the hyena, which we'll first encounter on going to the left, will have a health of 5, and if you get attacked by it, it will inflict 3 points of damage to you. And for the boar on the right path will be a little bit different. So we're going to do draw weapon. This is going to be a new scene that we will create. So we're going to transition to that scene, and let's put a placeholder for draw weapon. But before we do that, let's implement go right. So to make things simple, I'm just going to copy and paste this code here. And we're going to change, instead of go left, we're going to go right. We are actually going to change, of course, the narrative here. Let's copy it from our text file. So here is go right. I'm going to copy this. Switching back over to our editor, I'm going to change this text in here. And our attacker now is a boar. So let's change this to wild boar for the attacker. And the health of the boar is 7. He's a big guy. And attacker damage is 4. So as you can see, if he does attack you, he will inflict a little more damage than the hyena. So now let's implement draw weapon. So this is where you are given the option of using your spear or your machete to attack the animal in each turn. So let's first put in our say. And this phrase is going to be, let's head back over to the text editor. Do you draw your spear or your machete? Paste that in. That's what Alexa is going to say. And now we're actually waiting to hear what the user says. So we can put in a then statement, and let's see if we hear spear. The user selected their spear. Let's set up a few variables. Set weapon chosen as spear. Set weapon damage as 3. And now we're going to jump to another scene where we do the attacking. So it's going to be try to attack. We'll create that scene a little later on. Otherwise, if you hear machete, it's going to be something similar. Let's copy and paste. Be a little more efficient. And the weapon is now going to be the machete. And the damage is going to be a little less. It's going to be 2. What that means is if you use that weapon and you attack the animal and you were successful, you'll only inflict damage of 2 points for the machete as opposed to 3 points for the spear. And we can add in a reprompt here. Do you want to use your spear or your machete? And again, that's if the user did not say a phrase in time. Looks like I had an additional go right at the bottom of the file. Let me go ahead and delete that since we already defined it. And we'll jump back up. So that's the reprompt. We can also do a recap. And I made a typo in reprompt. There we go. That looks better. And for the recap, remember, is if the user said something that Alexa did not recognize or was expecting. For recap, we can say spear or machete. All right, the last thing that we'll do is we'll just put a placeholder for try to attack. Not implemented yet. And let's save. So this is a good saving point. Let us take a look at our narrative. As you see, it's building out. So if you go left, essentially, you will encounter a hyena. If you go right, you'll encounter a boar. And then we engage in selecting a weapon to do battle. So that's the implementation of choosing our initial path.